Hi, hey, hi. Have I got a recipe for you today? Today we're going to be making ham spread. Ham spread, I know a lot of people think it's processed, but you know what? It's a guilty pleasure. I love it to death. Coming from New York, we would go to the butcher and we would get our cut of meat or whatever, and we would always say, hey, throw in some of that ham spread. And he'd always give us the ham spread. It was so good. Federal, if you're ever, well, Federal. And we would have this ham spread. We'd come home with the cut of meat or whatever it was, the cold cuts or whatever it was that we wanted, and everyone would always, where's the ham spread? And you get out the Italian bread, you put some ham spread on it, and everyone's happy. Today, you lucky people, I'm gonna be making that ham spread for you, right here on the Chubby Hubby. Okay, it's going to start with the ham. This was just regular ham that I've cubed up. However, if on the holiday you make a ham and you've just got too much, or all of your guests cancel and you're stuck with a big ham, chop it up. It's perfect. It's a great application for this recipe, okay? So we're gonna start by loading. I'm gonna do this in batches because this is a lot. Even though this is a 16-quart Breville peel and dice sous chef food processor, it's not gonna hold this much ham and be able to do it efficiently. And I want it all to be relatively consistent. So what we're gonna do is just add a good chunk of it in. You know what? We are gonna be able to get it all in. Yeah, it'll all be fine. It'll be fine. And we're going to use the pulse. The reason I use pulse, so if you hit the regular one, a lot of it is going to, or the automatic, a lot of it is going to come down to a pulp, and then the stuff towards the top, it's always best to just pulse it. It brings it down into tiny little meaty bites. As you can see already, this, my dear friends, is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So the first thing we're going to do is put it into our larger bowl. It is a larger bowl. We're not making this much. However, just be noted that if you don't eat it all, you could put this in packages and freeze it. Save it for a rainy day. Save it for when you really need that ham spread fix. Now, as you can see, this is just wonderful. The food processor does an amazing job of getting it all right down to where we want it. And as you can see here, this is very, very consistent, exactly what we want in this recipe. So we're gonna start by adding our ingredients. We're gonna back up 1 second. We're gonna do the eggs up in here so that I don't have to manually chop the eggs. And it'll take 2 seconds. 4 large eggs. Who wants to chop eggs when you've got the Breville 16-quart peel and dice sous chef food processor available from Breville? I think, here's a pro tip. I think what you should do, as you can see, it says align. It's also a nice idea to put open right here. This machine's brand new, but if you put it open here, because how many times have you done this? Where is that spot? I can't find it. If you have a line there, it's just in like Flynn. And again, we're gonna pulse. Turn it on, get the cord out from underneath it, and pulse. And get a nice, easy chop. That's about enough. Oh yes, this is perfect. Oh, perfect. So As I said, we're starting with a nice even chop loaf spread, ham spread. You know, it's really not ham spread yet, is it? Because it doesn't have all the ingredients. How about just ham? And we're gonna put the eggs. I'm telling you, this is the simplest of simple recipe. And then we're going to put finely chopped onion and celery. I don't like to put them through the food processor. I like to just chop them small so that as you're enjoying this dish or nice delicious snack, you get little bites, and the bites are just little flavor explosions. So I don't like to have it minced down to nothing. The same thing with pickles. You love them or you hate them. As you know, in a previous video, I made my own pickles, and these are part of that. So a little bit of juice, and that's okay. Totally okay. It adds to the flavor. Everything's about the flavor, right? Now, don't judge. Don't judge, but this is Hellmann's. No, this isn't Hellmann's. This is, what's the regular mustard? This is just your regular standard mustard. It's in the Dijon. I just put in a Dijon mustard. The recipe is down below. You can get it. And then lastly, hold your arteries, 2 cups of mayonnaise. I like to use the Hellmann's. You know, you're either Camp Hellmann's or Camp salad dressing. I like Hellmann's. Hellmann's all the time. My husband does too. Don't you? He's holding the camera today. We're gonna add that in. Typically, I don't add all the mayonnaise in at one time so that you kind of get a consistency that you like, but this was a pre-tested recipe, so I know that this is exactly 2 cups is what I need for the amount of ham that I used. By the way, it was 6 cups of ham. And now we turn it into the good stuff by simply tossing it through. Takes a little bit, it's a lot of volume. As you can see, I am going to have some to freeze. It's coming together nicely. When I go to New York to visit, I stop at Federal's and I get the ham loaf and I bring it home with me. And it's like having a little bit of New York right here in Houston until it comes to an end and I run out. Friends say, I'll have this all in my fridge ready to go, and friends will come over, what do you got for lunch? I'll say nothing, because I don't want to share my ham loaf with them. That's how much I adore Federal's ham loaf. And I'm sure you're going to too. Okay. We're going to put a little salt and maybe just a touch of pepper in there. I think that might be nice, just to kind of bring up those flavors a little bit. Messy spice cabinet. I would say just a pinch, and really, whatever is good for you. My pinch tends to be heavy, but as I always say, 70% of all the sodium that you take is from processed foods and restaurants. So what you put at home, it's okay to add a little salt, unless you have nutritional issues, then be careful. Give this one last stir. Now you don't want to over stir it and make it clumpy. As a friend of mine once said as he was over and I was making food, he said, John, don't abuse the food. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd, but it's true. And we are done. I'm going to plate just a little bit of this so you can see what it tastes like. We're just going to use this container. And I'm going to taste it. Now, it's been a while for me for ham loaf. So if I disappear all of a sudden, someone call 911. Oh. Oh my stars and garters. This is so good. This is so good. This gives me all the feels. It gives me all the flavor feels. I love it. It tastes just like the one I remember from home, back home. I'm getting a little bit of onion, a little bit of celery, just perfect amount of salt. It was a very simple recipe. Something quick to put together. The kids will enjoy this. You'll enjoy it. Your husband will enjoy it. What I would really like is if you saw how easy it was, if it is something that you do like, please go to thechubbyhubby.com, thechubbyhubbycook.com, which is my website, and you'll see all of my recipes. Follow me on Instagram, The Chubby Hubby Cook, and Facebook of the same, and YouTube, The Chubby Hubby Cook. There you can find everything that I've done and everything that I'm working towards. Follow, like, subscribe, do the whole gigs. Until then, I am going to enjoy some ham spread, and I'm hoping that you are too. Until then, I'm out.